what are some of the scenarios where you've seen XML versus JSON in use, and are there particular benefits to having one versus the other, and how do those correlate with SOAP versus REST?
Sure. Well, so I mean, I guess kind of the first thing, if it's a SOAP service, it's always XML. You'd have to really do some very complicated wrangling to try and make something like SOAP and JSON work. And at that point, you're not really following a spec anyway, which doesn't stop people. There's absolutely somebody out there somewhere that's built a SOAP service and used JSON and still called it SOAP. I guarantee it. But SOAP is exclusively pretty much XML. REST could be XML or JSON. It's more commonly JSON these days. APIs that are built these days, from scratch, are the majority of them are JSON first. Some of them might support both, but they're JSON first. That's largely where the API community has trended towards. I guess kind of comparing XML and JSON. As much as JSON is, I would say it's my preference for sure. It's a lot more readable, I think, once you get into the hang of using it. There are some advantages of XML that JSON doesn't have. JSON does have, very explicit data types. You can actually define things that are Booleans. You can, actually have, numbers that are numbers and not just a string that you're, pretending is a number because you have an XSD or something like that. That it having more explicit primitive data types can be helpful. But what JSON really lacks in terms of it being a widely accepted, widely used standard is like XML schema XSDs. Being able to actually put out very, very specific rules saying this XML has to meet exactly these requirements. There's things like JSON schema that exist. They're not standardized enough to anywhere near the same degree that XSD is.
So they just aren't enforceable.
Yeah. Yep. And there's a lot less tooling around them as well. So there are some situations where I would say XML is possibly preferable, but you really kind of got to take a look at how you're architecting things and whether or not those are requirements that you actually need, or if they're kind of just something you're carrying forwards because that's what you're experienced doing. Most of the time we see our customers building XML APIs today. We stop them and say, well, why are you building this as XML? Is there a reason that you need this to be XML? If you're building this for newer, for other business partners to use, they're probably going to expect a JSON API first when you say you have an API. That's just kind of where things are today.